I've been doing a lot of thinking, and the color is red. You got to be. Anyway, hey, you guys, this is case 3 titled They Let You Go, So Let It Be. Ha, that rhymes, doesn't it? So, tonight for this case, I wanted to talk about when people come and go out of your life. I'm sure you guys have heard before, like people come into your life for different things and different reasons, different seasons, all of that stuff. And then sometimes they stay and then sometimes, they leave. And sometimes it's not that anybody necessarily did anything wrong. It's just that relationship has ran its course. And if they're meant to stick around, it shouldn't take a lot of work and it should not feel like you're pulling teeth. Okay. So, with that being said, tonight, what I want to talk about is how to overcome that. Now, let me tell you something. It's okay to be hurt. It's okay to be hurt. It's okay to feel everything, and it's okay to be, what's the word? Disappointed that they left. But at the end of the day, you got to figure out what to do next. You got to figure out what to do next. You need to figure out how to overcome the hurt and the anguish and the pain that you feel. It could be a friend. It could be a relative. It could be a childhood friend. It could be a colleague. It could be anybody, whoever it may be. Examine the situation and then think about it. Did you really need them, or did you need them at the time and do you still need them now? You need them now. Like I said, you got a problem, and that's okay because that's what I'm here to help you with. You don't need him, then it's easy for you to move on. But it's okay to feel hurt. Okay. Now, as they say, time heals all. So it's necessary to process that emotion and take it day by day, hour by hour, and, figure out what steps you're going to take to do it. Sometimes if you got to go for walks, if going to the gym is your thing, if journaling is your thing, if music is your thing, whatever helps you cope. But you need to have healthy coping mechanisms, just like in any situation in life, anything you do. You need to make sure that whatever you're doing, that it's not slowly killing you more or bringing you down more, but instead it's going to help uplift you and help you overcome something so that when you look back, you can say, look at where I was then, look at where I am now. I'm a lot better, and I allowed that pain to make me a stronger person and a better person, and I'm wiser now. So you want to thank yourself for going through it. You want to be happy you went through it and that you kept your head up the whole time. It's very important. I'm just saying, you know. Now, my thing is, I always like to use myself as an example. This is not about me, it's about you. What's about us, but mainly about you. One thing that I do is I keep in touch with who wants to keep in touch with me. That's how I do things. That goes for relative and non-relative. I know that sounds cold, right? But it's just the truth. Let me give you guys an example. So I reconnected about a few months ago, prior to the taping of this video. I connected a few months ago with, a cousin that I grew up with on my father's side of the family. She's doing so well. I went to visit her, and she also is a recording artist, just like myself. So I brought her to my engineer, and we just really hit it off. And she recorded something, and I'm heavily supportive of her music, and she is of mine too, and everything else that I want to do. Because she wants to do music, but then she was talking about running for something in politics, and then she also paints, so she's just kind of all over the place. But that's not the point. Anyway, my thing is, we grew up together, so we keep in touch. It's not work. I text to call her, she texts and call me. I invited her to my last birthday party. She was unable to show. I totally understood. But at the end of the day, when someone is in your life, it should not feel like, it should move like water. It should move like Niagara Falls. It just flows, and it just stop. It's just an endless flow of just love and support. And you guys don't have to talk every day, but you talk every so often. You may talk once a week. You may talk every other day. There are people I talk to, some of my male friends, I talk to them every other day. Some I may talk to once a week. Some of them I haven't talked to in maybe a few weeks. But I don't feel any differently about them. But I'm not letting them go as long as they're serving me as I'm serving them. Now, let me tell you something though. When someone is in your life, you don't have to cut them off completely. just because, and I think I've said this before, but you don't have to cut them off completely because they did something that you didn't like. It depends on what it is. Like, I'll give you an example. I had one friend, he wasn't putting into the friendship what I was putting in. So I said, you know what, I would just love to take a break from this. And it's kind of hard for you to hear my frustration because we're typing instead of talking on the phone or FaceTiming. But I'm gonna have to take a break from this, bro. Okay, but I'm gonna love you from a distance, all right? Because you are my brother, not blood brother, but y'all get what I'm saying. Like I treat friends like family. I treat everyone like whatever, you know. So my thing is, I took a break from that relationship, and I didn't invite him to my party, and I really hate that I had to do that. But I can't look at you right now. Sorry. So, but we cool now. Everything's good. But then I had another, well, so-called friend, I should say, that tried to scam me, basically. Well, he did, but I didn't realize it was for a trip. So him and I, yeah, that's not a friend. So I let him go. So my thing is, the whole point of what I'm saying is, you don't have to cut people off, depending on what it is they've done. People show you how to love them and how to deal with them, like I said before. So just always keep that in mind. Always. And I'm gonna make sure I stay on point because my brain has like 50 tabs open, like I said, in case one. So I'm just trying to make sure I stay where I need to stay so that you can get the point in the message and what I'm trying to say. Okay. Sometimes you have to limit your contact with people. You have to limit your contacts and you have to really examine the situation. Like, what's going on? Why this? Why this? Why that? It depends on what that person means to you. It depends on how often, how close you guys were. Were you guys close at one point? What is the nature of the situation? Right now, I do have, like, for example, right now, I do have a family member that I'm not really talking to right now. And I'd be lying if I said it didn't bother me. It does bother me. It is hurtful, but at the same time, I can't let it weigh me down and ruin my life. When they get done with whatever it is they're going through, or them acting weird with me or whatever, then everything can come back around and we can all just be one happy family again. But until then, I can't worry about it. I have to keep moving. I haven't let them go, and I hope that they haven't let me go, but I'm not sure what their problem is right now. But that's another story for another case. But that's just those are just examples of what it's like. Some people, when they let you go or they do things to you, you have to keep in mind that it may not necessarily have been something you did. It could be something that's going on with them. And sometimes, unfortunately, you are the target in what the situation is. So you have to kind of keep that in mind sometimes, but you can't be so hard on yourself to try to figure out what is it that I did when you realize you really didn't do anything. And then sometimes that person they possibly could be going through something, and that's their own, weird way of dealing with it. Sometimes that happens. And it's important for you to understand certain things, but also understand the beauty and the good side in every single situation. Because there's always a good side, or almost always a brighter side, as my grandmother always told me. She's always said that, and I didn't understand what she was talking about when I was younger, but now I understand. There's always a brighter side, and there's always a brighter side to look at it. Everybody that comes into your life, people, no matter how great they are, no matter how awful they are, they can always, always, always teach you something. And you should always remember that. You can learn something from everybody you cross paths with in your life. Always, 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 always remember that. When someone lets you go that you considered a friend or that you really liked, indulge yourself into things that help you find happiness and that help you find peace. Like, I have a cousin that I was talking to one time, and we were talking over text, and she was saying that she finds a lot of joy in video games and in books. It's something that she loves to do outside of people. You have to find things that you really enjoy and you love to kind of take your mind away from whatever that void is you feel. There are healthy ways to fill a void, like I said earlier. If a person doesn't want something to do with you and you really don't need them, then why are you obsessing over it? Just move on. It happens. But if it's someone you do need, if it's someone that you were there for and you don't understand what's going on with them, it never hurts to have a sit down with someone. You could call, schedule something. Hey, let's go grab something to drink from somewhere. Let it not be alcohol, because alcohol can infuse emotions. Because, you know, what could have ended so peacefully ended in a bar fight because, the spirits got a hold of one of you. So we don't want that. But you want to find time to actually sit down and talk with someone. If that person is mature enough, if that person is not mature enough, and it doesn't matter what their age is, then maybe just give them some time. Or maybe just accept it for what it is and keep moving on with your life. You have to remember the greatness that's within you and the light that shines within you. And always, always, always set boundaries with everybody you meet. Always set boundaries, because if you don't set boundaries, that means that you don't have respect for yourself and you don't even realize it, because you shouldn't allow someone to continue to come in and use you or do whatever they want to do with you, and then they just throw you away and move on. And then when they need something and they come back, then they do whatever they do, and then they move on. You can't do that, because then you suffer greatly in the end. And then not only that, but that just adds to the unhappiness that you have. You got to set boundaries. Like I said earlier about a friend of mine, I had to take a break from that relationship. I didn't cut him off completely. I didn't stop talking to him, but I had to take a break because I said, this isn't going well right now. And I'm not liking what I'm getting out of the situation. The thing with me is, like I said earlier, I keep in touch with who wants to keep in touch with me. But at the end of the day, if a person is not putting anything into the relationship or into the situation like you are, then you need to either address it, have a sit down, or if they let you go, then like the case title is, they let you go, then let it be. Because at the end of the day, all that person was doing was prohibiting you from your destiny, prohibiting you from your happiness, wasting your time, and also taking up that space from somebody else that could have been there the entire time. And you didn't even realize it because you were trying so hard to make things work. And you can't make things work with everybody because you're not equally yoked with everybody. And you have to always remember that no matter how badly you may want it to work, no matter, what you then did, consider, am I wasting my time with that? Consider your feelings in the situation when you've given everything. You still realize that you're getting an unfair treatment and that what's going on ain't really fair. Okay? You have to always keep that in mind, all right? Growing up, I have had people that have let me go. I'm thinking right now, I can't think of anything in particular, but like I have had people, or we don't talk anymore at all. I'm talking about like Charlie Puth type. We don't talk anymore. Like we really don't talk anymore. But at the end of the day, I didn't know what to do with myself because I would always blame me. And then I would always I would always feel like maybe I wasn't good enough or I did something wrong or it was something I said. But really the whole entire time, you know, that wasn't it. I don't know what it was, and I shouldn't have cared. That's the point. And that's the genius of this whole conversation. You got to know what and what not to care about. For someone near and dear to you, and it could be a friend or a relative, it's okay to care. It's okay to be hurt, but don't let it stop you or prohibit you, okay? I've been doing a lot of thinking, ladies and gentlemen, and the color is green now. Well, it looks blue on here, but it's actually green. Wait, now we're rubies on your yacht. All right. So anyway, I'm gonna enjoy this Emerald City Green right here. I just wanted to talk to you guys and just let you know that virtually and in spirit, I am here. And I'm excited for the future, what's to come, and to build and just be here for you. Not only be your motivation, but just kind of be like a motivation is one thing, but to just be someone that understands and that's open and that's here, because I'm gonna always be that, okay? And I understand totally. Mental health is just really something that's important to me. I'll just say it like that. So, but I don't like for it to sound so, you know. I like to at least try to make you smile a little bit and make you feel good about whatever it is you may be going through. So that's what I'm here for, and much, much more. Okay. So until next time, don't forget to go out into the world and don't be a moment, be a lifetime, because a lifetime lasts so much longer.